Hi guys, so Richard Burgon of the Labour Party asked Jacob Rees-Mogg a question about coronavirus and the impact it's having in the UK, and Jacob Rees-Mogg had a particular response.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Nothing highlights the deep failings in the government's response to coronavirus like the shockingly high death rates per million rates here compared to many, many other countries. We are very near the top of the deaths per million table. This is a national scandal. Our deaths per million rate is 6 times higher than in Germany. Our deaths per million rate is 100 times higher than in South Korea and 150 times higher than in Australia and New Zealand. So would the Leader of the House agree to a debate on comparisons with other countries' handling of coronavirus so we can learn from best practices and help to protect lives here in our country?
Leader of the House.
Mr. Speaker, every death from the coronavirus, whether it's in South Korea or in the United Kingdom, is a tragedy, and the sadness for the families affected is very great and very real. But there are a very wide range of factors that have affected death rates in different countries, and these have been caused by things that may even be as simple as the weather.
The weather. This was an actual idea at the beginning of this crisis. Now, where the hell has Jacob Rees-Mogg been? Hiding, underneath the sofa here that he normally lies on to sleep on? Where has he been? This was an issue that was brought up at the beginning. Maybe the weather would have an impact. This was debunked because we've seen the virus spreading to almost every country in the world, or maybe it's actually in every country of the world. So it's in the United States, it's in Germany, it's in South Korea, it's in Japan, it's in India, it's in Africa, it's in Australia, it's in Brazil. So the weather was not an issue. So why are you bringing up the idea of the weather again?
In regard to how the virus has spread, to the practices of individual cultures and societies. And
yes, maybe some cultures actually consider dealing with this virus in a serious way. Unlike in another culture, I'm not blaming the culture, I'm blaming the Prime Minister in another country, which decided it was nothing to deal with. It was not a problem. He actually joked about shaking hands with people who were infected. Now, and then it turned out to be a lie. So, when you talk about culture, what the hell are you talking about, Jacob? Yes, hygiene may be an issue. Of course it's an issue in regards to the spread of this virus. So maybe if certain cultures don't consider hand washing important, then this will facilitate the spread of the virus. But the examples that Richard gave was Germany, for example. Are you claiming that there's a difference in culture regarding hygiene, for example, between Germany and the UK? Or maybe is there a difference in hygiene culture between the UK and France, or Spain, or Italy, or South Korea, or Australia and New Zealand, or the United States? What difference in culture are you talking about?
I think these headline comparisons are not necessarily enormously illuminative.
They're not, because they show us up as being incompetent, as a group of charlatans that couldn't be bothered with taking this virus and this pandemic seriously. You can guarantee that if the opposite had happened, that the Conservative Party actually cared about people, cared about this problem, and actually invested in PPE, reached out to the EU and resolved this, they would be preaching how we were unique in how great we dealt with this. Look at how other countries have made a shambles of their reaction to this pandemic. Look at the shining light that we are. No, it's all, well, other countries may be doing well, but it's nothing to do with how they dealt with it. It's just the weather or culture or some other crap like that. Jacob Rees-Mogg is a charlatan and I don't want to say crook, but that's more related to Brexit. But he has no value in the House of Commons? What good does he bring to the House of Commons? I really don't understand. Why is he there? Who the hell voted for him? How does he improve the lives of his constituents? How does he improve the lives of ordinary British people? Yes, he's good at making a few puns. He has some interesting ideas on ancient languages and the history of the Parliament. But he'd make a better curator than a leader of the House. Why not become a Patreon and enjoy access to our Discord server where we share news, chat, and have some fun? If you become a patron, you can also make video suggestions on topics that are important to you. Check it out via the link in the description.